What is good? My name is Mike Osterman, and in today's video, I'm going to teach you how to smoothie. Now, a smoothie is a freestyle footwork trick that involves doing a one-footed pivot followed by a two-footed pivot. That's basically it. Yeah. Before you learn smoothies, it's important that you can do these three tricks: tic-tacs, monster walks, and end-overs. Especially backside end-overs like this. To begin, I like to have my back foot in the center of the tail and my front foot over the front bolts like so. Now this is going to switch to this position in a minute, but we'll get to that later. I like to start rolling at a slow to medium speed. To start the trick, you'll have to move your front foot into optimal smoothie position. See example. Once you're in position, you'll start turning your head and shoulders backside. Next, lift your back foot off the board. Now you're freaking out. Am I gonna fall on my butt? Maybe. Is that kind of just how things go sometimes? Unfortunately, yes. As your upper body rotates backside, you'll press down on the heel of your front foot, allowing the wheels to drag ever so slightly across the ground. Once the board has finished its 180-degree turn, you can drop your back foot back on the tail and continue to the second two-footed pivot. Nice. All right, let's break this down. Okay, let's start with optimal smoothie position. Now to do the smoothie, you're gonna have to have your foot in such a position that you can press down on your heel in order to de-weight the back wheels. Now I don't mean be able to lift the back wheels off the ground. I mean you just need to be able to get enough weight off of those back wheels to be able to drag the back end of the board around. Now I like to do that by having my foot pigeon-toed. That is, having my toes turned inwards slightly. And if I press down on my heel, you can see right now I'm probably too far forward. I can probably get away with having my foot kind of closer to this position, so that if I press down hard on my heels, I can kind of raise the wheels up, but I'm not gonna banana peel. Now there are two ways you can get into optimal smoothie position. One way is to just swivel your front foot into position, just like that. Another way is to pivot and swivel at the same time. I like doing this because it sort of primes me. Sort of sets me up for the next part of this trick. Next, you gotta turn. And that's the scary part. Now when I'm doing my smoothie, the first turn of my smoothie, I'm thinking about my head, my shoulders, my back foot, and then my board. In that order. So once your foot is in optimal smoothie position, you're turning your head, leading with your chin, then turning your shoulders, then lifting your back foot off of the tail of the board, and finally turning the board. So it's all gonna start with your head. Your head's gonna start the rotation by turning backside. Next is your shoulders. Your shoulders are gonna follow, and they're also gonna start to lean in the direction that you're rolling. Once they start to turn, you can take your back foot off the tail and start swinging it backside. And finally, if your front foot is in the right position, your board should be able to gently glide across the ground in 180 degrees to stay under you. Now that one-footed pivot, that smoothie of the smoothie, is the hardest and scariest part of this trick. You're gonna probably have trouble committing to that turn. But if you lead the turn with your head, then you lead with your shoulders, then you take that back foot off, it should flow all right. You just gotta commit to the turn and trust that your front foot is in the right position so that you can drag those back wheels around. Now once the board's finished with that first 180 degrees, you can plant your back foot back on the tail and just do a regular end over. Now if you're having trouble with smoothies, there are a number of things that you can do to make them easier. First, don't look down. I say this about most freestyle footwork tricks. The more you look down, the more your posture becomes like all hunched over and gross, the harder it is to keep your balance. If you keep your shoulders back, your head up as much as you can, right? You should have an easier time doing that pivot. It's important that you focus on that front foot position, the position that you need your front foot to be in to get that smooth, gentle glide of the back wheels is gonna vary based on your shoe size, the shape of your board, a lot of things. Focus on leading the turn with your upper body, both by spinning your head and your shoulders first and by leaning into the turn with your upper body. And if it becomes a little too difficult and you find yourself being too scared to commit to that backside turn, it's not a bad idea to go back and practice your endovers, especially backside endovers like this. And once you've mastered the smoothie, you can start working on other tricks, like whatever these things are called, front side smoothies, that one Kevin Harris trick, flamingos. Oh, hope I was in frame for that. Give smoothies a try. Try to keep them smooth, that's sort of the point. But get creative with it, make it your own. Find ways to flow in and out, and keep dancing. Woo.